NaNo. So I know I look a little bit rough, and I definitely feel very rough. My last week of March did not go entirely as planned, but that's okay, because here we are, it's April 1st, it's the first day of Camp NaNo, and I am super excited. Okay, so it's about noon right now. I'm feeling very, very tired. I'm feeling very, very tired. I ended up taking a few days of work with my old boss, like this last week of March, and that changed things for me because I had intended originally to do my kind of Camp NaNo prep work during this last week of March, and I obviously did not get to do any of that. And this morning I didn't get home from work until about 4 a.m. So I'm feeling, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling rough. My bank account is definitely very grateful that I took those days of work. It's celebrating, but my body is crying. I'm very sore and I just feel all weak and just shaky and weird. Now, all that being said, I have a lot that I gotta get done today, and the first things I have to do are kind of like life things. I gotta do a bunch of paperwork, so I gotta get that out of the way and finished first. I also want to update and change my calendar thing to April and do a little bit of April planning, but the main priority for today is definitely doing my Camp NaNo prep. And I'm actually very excited because tonight I'm going to be on Autumn Ashley's channel. She's doing a kind of Camp NaNo kickoff stream, and it's going to be me and a bunch of other lovely, beautiful author tubers on here, so I'm very excited about that. But there is some prep work that I need to get done. So I guess first of all I need to talk about what my Camp NaNo plans are. Now, in terms of word count goal for Camp NaNo, I originally was going to do just a 20k word count goal, but because I think I'm definitely going to be taking a few more days of work in April, I know that I'm gonna have even less time to work on Ben. I decided to bring that word count goal down very low and just make it 10,000 words. Now, this is the part that I'm very excited about, okay? So if you've been keeping up with my vlogs, I've mentioned a few times now that chapter 7, or technically chapter 6 in the zero draft, is chapter 7 in this new draft because I've added a chapter, but it's the original draft's chapter 6. This chapter in the zero draft, I have like virtually nothing written. There is less than 300 words between 3 scenes. I just gave myself nothing to work with for this second draft. I don't know that I even tried, really. I don't know that I even tried. Now, even though that is quite stressful, it's also really exciting because I have been looking for an opportunity to try something out. And so from what I've heard about this writing technique, it seems like it works best when you're zero drafting. So I figured since I'm zero drafting this chapter, I really want to try this writing technique and see if I like it and if it works for me. So beyond my 10,000 word count goal, I am also going to be trying for the first time ever dictation. I love the idea of dictation. I've known about it for a very long time, but I never tried actually doing it because I feel like I don't know how, and it would just be a mess. Like, I just feel like I don't know how to do it. Like, how do people do it? I just feel like I'm better at typing things out. Like, I feel like my thoughts come out better when I type things out as opposed to when I speak orally. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm also really, really excited. Now, I have done a little bit of research, and it seems like the app Otter is a pretty good app to use. I heard Katie Wismer talking about it in a few of her vlogs, and I also heard someone else talking about it as well. I can't remember who. I was watching a video and they mentioned it. So I have downloaded it. I do have it on my phone. And I've also watched a few videos on dictation and how to dictate, and I've written down a few kind of tips and tricks that might be helpful. So I've decided what I'm going to do today is, instead of just jumping right in and trying to draft a Ben scene using dictation, I'm going to try to implement all the little tips and tricks. And they're not a lot of tips and tricks. They're just like a couple things that I thought would be really helpful for me. I'm going to try to implement those and just write like a random made up scene just for practice, just to see kind of how it goes and get used to, talking and doing all that stuff. From what I understand, I think someone was saying that Otter automatically does all the like punctuation and like all the punctuation marks, so I don't have to speak them. I don't have to be like comma, period, or stuff like that. That seems very difficult, so I'm gonna test that out. But I know that one of the main tips is to export it and like put it into your thing right away and fix it up as soon as you can while everything's still fresh and you can remember kind of what you were saying, because it's not, it's not a perfect system, it's not perfect, so it will miss things, it'll get words wrong and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'd love to do that before the live stream later on because I'd love to be working on Ben later on. But if it ends up happening where I don't get all the other stuff done today that I gotta get done, I'll work on my practice scene during the NaNo kickoff stream. But anyway, right now I'm going to get started on some work and life things because they're just weighing on me, and I really just need to get that done before I can do anything else. Okay, so it's a little bit later in the day. It's almost 7 actually. I need to hop on Autumn's live stream in about a half hour, so I really wanted to get this done before I hop on. So I did manage to do a lot of the work stuff that I needed to get done, as well as some of my like personal life organization stuff. So I redid my calendar for the month and I did my bullet journal spreads. So I'm definitely feeling a lot better about that. And I also made a couple TikToks, so that's good. So what I'm gonna do right now is prep for my little kind of test dictation scene that I'm gonna try to write. So one of the tips that I read about when it comes to dictation is having like bullet points written out of what you're gonna be talking about, like what you're gonna be writing, like what's gonna happen in this scene. So you don't get too stuck and you can just kind of keep going. And I think that's a really, really good tip. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, but I'm also gonna be making some tea, because another tip that I heard was that you should have some sort of beverage to drink while you're doing it, because obviously you're gonna be talking a lot and your throat is gonna get a little sore, a little tired. So I do have my water, but I think I'm also gonna make myself a tea. Okay, so while I'm making my tea, I'm just gonna jot down some notes for this random scene. I've decided that this scene is just gonna be a short little fan fiction scene, and it's gonna be me and a friend of mine. We're gonna be at a bar, we're having a drink, and my friend had taken me out to the bar because I had been a little bit, you know, depressed because a relationship of mine hadn't worked out, and I was feeling a bit sad, and she wanted to take me out to a bar just to have a good night, and I'm like not really enjoying myself. And then Brendan Fraser walks in, and the night takes a little bit of a turn, and now suddenly Brendan Fraser's buying me drinks, and we're chilling with Brendan Fraser. Totally random scene. I'm never gonna do anything with this scene. It's just to practice the actual act of dictating. I want to actually try it out and test it and see how it works. And then I'll export it and put it into my Word document and kind of see how it all turned out and fix it and see kind of how the whole process goes, you know? I have no intention of dictating for longer than 5 minutes. I really want to do a really short little thing. So I'm gonna make myself just a few notes. Me and I don't know, a friend's name. See, now I'm gonna get stuck on stupid details that mean nothing. Okay, Jess, because Jess is actually one of my best friends. Me and Jess at bar, drinks, come, drinking, talking. Brendan Fraser walks in, obviously notices me out of everybody in the bar. Then he's just gonna come up to us, ask what we're drinking, orders another round. We talk, and that's it. We're gonna keep this PG. Now I'm gonna go into my Otter app. Apparently my minutes are gonna reset in 8 days. I think you get 600 free minutes a month, which is great. I can't see myself going over that, so yeah. Where do I go? Oh, I think I just go here. Oh, is it recording? Oh my god, it's already recording. I'm not ready. Okay, stop. That was practice. Let me get my tea and then I'll come back. Okay, tea is poured. It's gonna steep for a bit and I'm gonna try to bang this out. How do I start? This is okay. Now recording. Okay. This is hard. Wait, let me try again. It's really hard to just dictate it off the top of my head. There's usually some sort of delay between the thoughts and typing it out that like I can process and actually think about what I'm saying. This is really hard. Jess waves trying to get the bartender's attention. Oh my god. Jess waves trying to grab the bartender's attention. She turns to me. Okay, so what do you want to drink? I shrug. I don't know. I don't really want to drink anything, to be honest. She tisks. Come on, you need to drink something. You're supposed to be having a good time tonight. I feel like I'd have a much better time just sitting at home, watching Forensic Files, and eating junk food. I really don't want to be here. She huffs. Fine. She turns to this is hard. She turns to the bartender who finally arrives in front of us. Wow, this is terrible. 2 shots of tequila, please, she says. She turns back to me with a smile. I hate tequila. I really don't want to drink tequila, but it is really hard to say no to Jess. The shots arrive and she hands one to me and picks up the other. She holds it up. Okay, to forgetting about John because he sucked anyway and you're way too pretty for him. I sigh heavily. I thought you said we weren't going to talk about John tonight. You're right, she says. No more John talk. Just drinking. We clink our shot glasses together and I take the shot of tequila. It sucks. It burns. It's awful. I'm feeling pretty miserable right now. I glance around the bar. It's packed with way too many people, and the music is entirely too loud. How long do I need to stay here before I'm allowed to go back home? I don't know, that sounds weird. Jess looks at me with a frown. Just give it 1 hour, and then if you're not feeling any better, I'll take you home. Fine, I say. Suddenly, Jess grabs my arm, and her eyes go wide. She's looking somewhere behind me. Oh my God, she says. From her expression, my gut instantly drops, and I think, oh no, John walked in. I can't bear to look behind me, so I ask, what? What is it? She can't take her eyes off whatever is behind me. Oh my God, you're not gonna believe who just walked in. It's John. It must be John. What? Who just walked in? Why won't I believe it? Guess, she says. I'm really not in the mood for these games, so instead of guessing, I just turn to look at the door. And who do I see? It's Brendan Fraser. It's Brendan freaking Fraser. And I don't know what to do with myself. I'm suddenly having a much better night. Uh-oh, what happened? I did something. The screen recording, something happened. Hello? It stopped screen recording, but I'm still going. I adore Brendan Fraser. I have watched every single one of his movies entirely too many times, and I am not ashamed to admit it. I watch him look around the bar, and immediately his eyes land on me, and my heart skips a beat. My breath gets stuck in my throat, and I feel like I'm about to throw up. Oh my God, I think he's looking at you, Jess says from behind me. Behind me? I don't know where we are. It's fine. What's our orientation? In an instant. In an instant? After a moment, he starts making his way over to us. I can't believe this is happening. This must be a dream. Hello, he said. This is gonna be so bad. He says as he lands in front of me and Jess. I look up at him. He towers over me. Hi, I say. What are you ladies drinking? He says. He asks. My God. Tequila, Jess answers quickly from beside me. He flicks his eyebrows, impressed. No, he raises his eyebrows. Interesting. Tequila it is. He flags the bartender down and orders 3 tequilas. I look around the room, still trying to figure out whether this is a dream or not, because I can't imagine how no one else is reacting to the fact that Brendan Fraser has just walked in to this little nothing bar in the middle of nowhere. But no one seems fazed except for me and Jess. Brendan takes a seat down beside me at the bar. You know, I think that's it. That was bad, but I also kind of liked it. I think it's going to be a lot of work to now clean up, and it doesn't seem like it did the quotation marks, but we'll see. I think export text is what I'm supposed to do. Plain text. Okay, now I'm gonna airdrop it. Okay, so I'm gonna airdrop it to my laptop and then set it all up, but I do need to hop on Autumn's live stream right now, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll work on this and maybe get to some Ben writing during the stream. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so today is Sunday. It's April 3rd. Happy day 3 of camp. I'm gonna attempt to finish editing this vlog today and have it up at some point in the evening, but we'll see. So yesterday I did no writing, I did no vlogging, I did nothing because I went to go visit a friend of mine in London, and I basically spent the whole day there. We did go to a thrift store while I was there, and I bought a bunch of stuff, so I will do a little haul in the next vlog. Right now I just want to wrap things up and talk about how my practice dictation scene went and how the live stream went and all that stuff. So the live stream, of course, was so lovely. It was me, Autumn, Kayla, Sarah Sutton, and then Sarah Labatt also came. And yeah, I didn't get to any Ben dictating that night, but what I did work on during that stream was exporting the dictation file and then putting it into my Word doc and cleaning it up. So that was cool. I mean, my general feeling about dictation so far, I mean, I have so little experience with it, is it's hard, it's weird, it's kind of awkward, but I like it. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if I keep kind of practicing with it and get more used to it, it could actually be really good for me. The scene, as you'll have seen, was awful. Like, that, it was just awful. But I feel like, I don't know, kind of the dictating part is almost like my zero draft, and then when I export it and then clean it up, it's a little bit like I'm getting it to kind of a more like first draft thing. I mean, I didn't for that scene because I just didn't care to make it better. I just kind of wanted to clean it up as much as I could. I did a really poor job, quick job, but I feel like if I dictate my Ben scene and then I export it and put it in, I can kind of immediately kind of clean it up and then make it almost like a first draft. I don't know, it feels, I can't really explain it, but essentially it just feels like by the time I export it and kind of clean everything up, it feels like I've done a second pass through a zero draft, so it feels a little bit cleaner than a zero draft would be. I mean, we'll see what happens when I start dictating Ben, but it feels like I can probably have a more polished zero draft as like technically my first draft. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I don't know. But overall, I feel like I did like the experience. Now, the only thing is, Otter didn't really put in any of the like quotation marks, like punctuation, anything like that. It was pretty good with periods, and I think there was like one question mark, but there was no like quotation. I thought maybe it would put quotation marks after I said something like he said, or you know, I say, or whatever, but I didn't actually see any quotation marks. So I think I'm okay with that. Like, I don't mind putting those in after. I feel like it didn't really take me all that long to kind of clean it up. And so in terms of word count and time, the amount of time that I dictated for was about 8 minutes. It was just over 8 minutes. And the raw file that I exported from that was 779 words. So 779 words in 8 minutes isn't bad. And then I'd say it probably took like 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not too sure. I didn't quite time myself, but I feel like it didn't take me very long. I feel like it was probably about 15 minutes tops to clean it up. And so once I did clean it up and took out all of the extra words and just like the random me talking to myself confused, once I took all of that out, the final word count was 638 words, which is really good. And so with the 8 minutes of dictating and the roughly 15 minutes of cleaning it up, I basically managed to get 638 words in 23 minutes. And I feel like that's really not bad. So I'm really looking forward to doing chapter 7 of Ben using dictation. I'm looking forward to getting more used to using the app and getting more used to actually speaking, you know, the narration. I feel like it's using a different part of my brain, and then when I export it and clean it up, I get to use the part of my brain that I'm used to using for writing. And I feel like together, it's gonna be good. And yeah, so as far as today goes, I unfortunately am not really gonna be able to do any writing either. I have a lot of editing to do, and then I need to go to bed early because I agreed to work another day for my old boss tomorrow. So I got an early start time. So I likely won't be writing tomorrow either, which is sad, but it's okay because we're gonna go hard on Tuesday and it's gonna be really good. So yeah, let me know what you thought of my Brendan Fraser scene. I mean, it was really bad, but in a lot of ways, that's kind of the quality of my zero draft writing. I mean, I think maybe when I'm actually typing, it's a little bit better, but not too much, okay? Like, it's bad. It's bad. So there's a little sneak peek of, you know, my zero draft quality. And yeah, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your April camp is going. Let me know if you use dictation, if you have any tips and tricks for me, all that stuff. Let me know everything. I need it, and I would be so grateful. So thank you so much for watching, and if you got to the end of this video, comment down below, stay gold, because you are golden. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.